So we'll start sitting up on blankets. And if you want to lie down, of course, you are welcome to lie down. You're welcome to do whatever you want throughout class. I'm only here to just help guide you, offer suggestions. But I'm going to start sitting down on my blankets for our initial meditation here. Feel free to move around a little bit until you feel grounded, comfortable, and situated. And simply watch and let the breath flow. Big breaths in and out. And after you've taken a few nice, cleansing, relaxing breaths, maybe we focus on sealing our lips and breathing in and out the nose. And notice if we've landed in a different way here from how we first came to our practice. So notice if we're a little bit more connected to the present, landing in our body and our minds and our spirits in the present moment. As all these pieces and parts of us tend to be distracted and pulled apart in different directions throughout our day, when we come to our mat, we bring all of those things together as one. Continuing to let the breath flow. We're going to do a focused meditation, a pointed meditation today on the concept and word of support. I took one of Wendy Hallbreaker's class, a fellow Abide teacher, and she led a lovely meditation on support. So I'm just inspired by her and going to roll with it and focus on support today. So think for a moment about all the people, maybe even places and things that support you. Maybe it's a pet or your house, your favorite chair, people. What and who supports you? Taking a moment to appreciate all of those things. A moment of gratitude for all that supports us. Maybe you support you. And now let's think about all the people that we support, all the things that we support. Maybe it's an animal, friends, family, partners. Who do you support? And taking a moment to appreciate yourself for putting forth that effort to help others. Let the breath flow. Notice your supports beneath you, whether it be blanket, floor, wall, or all of the above, and melting into your supports. And now connect with your core, your abdomen, and notice it holding you up. You are supporting yourself here. We'll focus on supporting ourselves throughout class today. Giving in to support, letting ourselves be held. And we'll enjoy it for the next hour. Let's take 5 more really good breaths here, using your nose to breathe. Maybe we press our tongue to the roof of the mouth. Maybe we count the breath. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. And we'll do 3 more breaths in this meditation for good measure. We can slowly wake ourselves up out of our meditation and make your way to a seated posture if you're not there already. And we're going to use props today. So I have a stool nearby. I've got my block. I've got plenty of blankets. But first, we're going to bring our left foot and place it underneath our right thigh. And then extend your right leg out. So you should be able to feel your foot under the thigh. That's going to be a level of support for us. And then we can take our block at any height and slide it under the knee. So I'm going to do middle height. If you don't have a block, anything will work, even a slipper, something to just kind of press down onto. And we'll aim our belly button over our right leg and lead with our heart as we fold over the leg. You can reach down towards the ankle, the foot, or you can rest your head on your hand, which is really nice, a nice way to be supported. And because this might be extra comfortable, we're going to stay here for several long breaths, adjusting to be even more comfortable as you understand the posture a little bit more with every breath. And simply keeping it flowing, keeping that breath flowing. Maybe we sink a little bit. If we can bow a little bit further, maybe we take a further bow, perhaps. And we'll stay for 5 more breaths. Maybe counting the breath, 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Maybe pressing the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Okay, let's slowly rise. Very slowly lift yourself up out of that pose, giving your back time to adjust. And we'll remove our block, set it aside, and pull your right ankle in for seated cross legs. And we're going to take our right hand to the left knee, twist, gaze over the left shoulder. Just a gentle twist. Big breath in and out. Inhale, come back to center. Wonderful. We'll go the other way. So the left leg extends, the right foot tucks underneath the left thigh. It's actually going to support the back of our thigh today. And we'll take our block or whatever support you've got handy and slide it under the knee. Aim the belly button over the left leg, and we'll take a fold, maybe resting our head in our hand once again. And as we settle into the pose, we can fold a little bit more and more, seeing what's available to you. And as we stay in the pose longer, we're able to listen to our body. We get more information as we sit quietly and listen, so we can understand better how to place ourselves, how to bend ourselves. Keep letting the breath flow. We'll take 5 more breaths here. And maybe we've already taken our 5 breaths. We'll stay a few moments longer, keeping that breath flowing. Okay, we can come out now. Slowly press yourself away from the leg. Lift the heart up nice and slow, adjusting to being upright. And we'll slide our block out of the way and cross our ankles the other way. So we'll pick up the right shin this time and slide that foot underneath you, or whichever cross you didn't do last time. And notice the difference here. It may feel kind of strange, feeling it out. And then we'll take a twist over towards the right knee. So gaze over the right shoulder, left hand to right knee. Gaze back, gentle twist. Big breath in and out. And inhale back to center. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to set up for child's pose with support. So I'm going to take my blanket out from underneath me, widen my knees, and to build a mountain, I'm going to take a block in front of me and a blanket. So I'm just going to build a mountain. If you have a bolster or a stool with blankets to make it nice and soft, we're going to build just a little pad to lie down on, a little mini bed for our hearts and our head. Take your time getting there. And we'll settle into a supported child's pose. And we can take a cheek if that's comfortable for you. If you are taking a cheek, I'll let you know the midway mark and we'll change directions, taking the other side of our face to the support. And if you don't have any support, then just do regular child's pose. It's still a great pose, no matter what. Letting go of effort and trying for this posture. Sinking into the hips. And if you have a cheek, let's take our other cheek down, rotating the neck, going the other way. Maybe noticing a difference. A few more breaths here. Keep settling in. We'll take 5 more breaths. Let the belly and low back expand with breath. The side body expand with breath. Okay, it's time to come out of that pose. Maybe prying yourself off of your soft pillows and whatnot and setting them aside. And we'll come into tabletop. I have my blankets under me for a little cushion and feeling it around a little bit, rocking the hips from side to side, opening the fingers nice and wide. Big breath in and out, find a nice flat back. And we'll come down onto our elbows. So take your elbows to the floor. You can interlace your fingers if you want. And we're just going to keep lifting the belly up, but we'll shrug the shoulders. So kind of dropping the chest down and then up again. Kind of this churning motion of the upper arm bones into the shoulder socket. And we're going to change directions. That might be kind of strange to figure out, but reaching the chest up and then down, like a train, like the wheels of a train. All right. And from here, we'll come back up to tabletop, come back onto your hands. And we're going to shrug our shoulders with straight elbows this time. So shrug the shoulders, making big circles one way and then the other way. This may look kind of strange. And we'll go the other way, which is hard for me at least to figure that out. Big shrugs. Awesome. Great job, you guys. Let's come down back onto the elbows and walk the feet and hips back so that we should come into Sphinx pose. Into the forearms, gently pull the heart forward between the upper arm bones. Press the feet and legs and hips down into the floor and take a few breaths. Keep settling your belly into the floor. And keep reaching the crown of your head upwards. And then we'll take our hands towards our feet and lie down. Ultimate support from the floor. Let the whole body be heavy. Let the shoulders relax and melt forward. I'll let you know the halfway point so we could change cheeks. Noticing the firmness of the floor. Lifting your back body with breath as it fills up and empties as it settles back down. Let's take our other cheek. A few more breaths here. We'll take 5 more. Okay, take your hands to the floor and press yourself back into another child's pose. You can bring the knees together this time if you want, maybe resting your head on palms, stacked hands. But recentering and balancing in a wonderful and comfortable child's pose, whatever that looks like for you. Okay, when you're ready, we'll do our first downward facing dog. So maybe taking blankets out of the way so we can have access to our sticky mat. Maybe having that blanket nearby or somewhere close by for the knees in case you like cushion under the knees. But we'll walk it out, walk it back. Take your time opening the fingers and pedaling the heels, the knees, wiggling a little bit from side to side. Heating up the breath a little bit, maybe letting out a really big and deep sigh out the mouth. Awesome, great job. And then we'll walk forward. The hands can meet the feet halfway. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten your back, lift your belly button up, press the legs away from you. Exhale, slightly bend the knees and fold forward. Release your arms and head over the legs. And take a few nice cleansing, relaxing breaths here. The feet can be generously wide and apart, knees slightly bent. We'll take 3 more breaths in forward folds. And we'll slowly roll up. Let the arms hang heavy, the head hang heavy, knees slightly bent, and we kind of just inch our way all the way up, rounding through the spine and lifting our chin last. Take your time. We'll open up for mountain pose, Tadasana, and we're going to do a standing pose. So let's stand on our right leg first. We're going to find all 4 corners of our right foot. Yeah, that's a great idea. Socks off. If your mat's really squishy, go on the wood floor if you've got it nearby. And we'll hug our left knee up and in. So hug your left knee and squeeze it tight. Just taking a moment to catch your balance. Maybe it takes a few tries. And yeah, you can rotate and point and flex the foot as well if it's not throwing you off at all. Great. And from here, we're going to take our left foot and place it on top of the right thigh. And let's just take a moment standing with our legs like a figure 4, feeling it out. There's a nice stretch here in the left hip. And we can bring our hands to prayer and slowly bend the right knee and settle our arms on our leg. So it's a little bow here, creating a pyramid of support, settling into those hips and taking a few more breaths. If you would like to try reaching for the floor from here, we can advance this pose to be a much deeper stretch, but I'm not recommending it, just suggesting it if it feels available to you. And we'll try holding it for a few breaths if you're here. Okay, we can bend the knee if you were attempting to strain it. And then the hard part is going to be using our core strength to lift ourselves back up and hug that knee back up and in. Ooh, that's not easy. Awesome job. Okay, take it down and shake it out, because maybe that was really frustrating. And that's okay. We'll do the other side after we shake out whatever frustrations might have been going on. So standing on our left foot, we'll find all 4 corners of our left foot nice and strong, very slight bend in the knee, and we'll hug the right knee up and in. This side's a little bit harder for me. Maybe we're falling. Give it another try. Yeah, maybe we can rotate that ankle of the other foot. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, and we'll place the right foot on top of the left leg, make a figure 4. See if we can balance here for a little bit. You guys know the next 2 stages, so feel free to stop at any one of them or keep moving forward with me, totally up to you. Hands to prayer, squat and bow. Very slowly. Find a spot to focus on, and that helps us with our balance. And maybe we stay in our squat. Taking a few deep breaths here. If you're up for it, maybe the hands come to or towards the floor, maybe a blanket, a stool, and we can try to straighten the left leg, even if it's just a little bit. Okay, bend if it's straightening at all. And the hard part is lifting that left knee back up and in, hugging it in. Great job, you got this. Squeeze it tight and take it down and shake it out. Cleansing breath in and out. We'll come back to the front of our mat. Come back to the front of your mat. Take your feet nice and wide. Feet nice and wide, toes slightly out. We are going to drop into a goddess squat. So hands can come to prayer at your heart center, and we'll slowly lower elbows inside the knees and lifting the heart up into the thumbs as best as we can. A few deep breaths here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, take your hands to the floor in front of you. Lift your hips up and come into a nice wide leg forward fold. Kind of rock from side to side. Let the head be heavy. Be really nice and gentle and comfortable forward fold here. Rocking all the way to the left and all the way to the right. Swaying. And then we'll plant our hands and slowly, carefully walk the feet back into a downward facing dog. Pedaling it out once again, lifting the belly button towards the ceiling, nice and high. Big breath in and out. Big breath in, maybe let out a sigh. And we can take it straight to child's pose now if you would like, or you can inhale high plank pose. Exhale, slowly lower, hit the deck. Lift your heart, press the feet down. And we'll all meet in child's pose. Nice, comfortable child's pose, whatever that looks like for you. Knees together or apart. Head supported on the floor or by blocks, pillows, your arms. Let's settle and balance ourselves in this neutralizing posture. Taking some relaxing moments here. We'll take 5 more breaths in this child's pose. Great job. We'll come back to a downward facing dog just to take us into pigeon pose. If you like using your blankets, your soft stuff, send it towards the front of your mat. And you can simply pull your right knee forward from tabletop to get to pigeon pose. Try your best to keep your shin parallel with the front edge of your mat, or you can get into it from downward facing dog. So if you want to lift up from down dog, you can actually reach that right heel away from you. So you get this added awesome 3-legged dog stretch and pull the knee up and in. Try and get that foot as far away from your left hip as possible and settle in. Pigeon pose. And hopefully our stuff is nearby, so we can lean on our stuff. Taking a bow, letting go. We're shifting into the latter portion of class, which moves even more slowly. Whatever hard work that we did is pretty much done, besides the hard work of slowing down, relaxing, easing the mind, letting go. And the floor is here for us. Keep letting the breath flow. Notice where you're feeling the most sensation. Probably the right hip. We'll hold for a few more breaths. So if you want to deepen the pose, you can take your supports a notch down, maybe taking it a little bit closer to the floor. See if there's a deeper stretch in store for you today in this pose. Five more breaths. In and out the nose. Count of 4 in, count of 4 out. And very slowly press the floor away to lift yourself back up. And your choice if you're going to come to tabletop or downward facing dog. Maybe coming to tabletop first before we do down dog if you're opting for down dog. And we'll pull the left shin forward, the left knee comes forward. Try to get the left heel as far away from the right hip as possible. If you did three-legged dog on the other side, do it on this one too. So we're nice and level and balanced. So the left foot does its best to move its way forward. And we can use our supports, our stuff, all of the stuff, and settle into pigeon pose on the other side. We still have some time to go. If you feel up for it, maybe lowering yourself a little bit closer to the floor. Maybe not. I'm gonna stay right how I am. Maybe I'll go a little lower. Testing the waters. Sometimes you gotta try to know. And we'll take 5 more breaths. Maybe a little bit longer. I think we're not quite at the same length as the other side. Let's stay a few more breaths. If that's okay. If you gotta come out, of course, that's fine. Okay, let's slowly press ourselves up and away from the floor. Press yourself up and away. And we'll pull ourselves back into tabletop one last time. Coming into tabletop to rock our hips from side to side. Draw really big circles with the hips over the knees one way and then the other way. If you want to do one more down dog, we have opportunity here to lift those hips up and back one last time. Really big stretch through the backs of the legs. Let the head hang heavy. And then we'll walk ourselves forward to sit down. So walk the feet in. We can set up our blankets for more seated postures. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. We'll do a bound angle. If you have props, grab props. I'm building a mountain. Soles of the feet together. And if you don't have a mountain, you don't need a mountain. We could just fold forward. But if you can do it, why not? In honor of our theme of support today, we'll take a fold forward. Once you build a support and you see the kind of weight that it requires to settle, you may notice that this pose is a little bit further away from the floor than we normally force it. So not being afraid to be a little bit higher than we think we'd like. So we can really let go into the posture. No effort, no trying. And all we have to do is breathe. Let the knees wide and open. And surrendering to bound angle pose. Letting go and surrendering here. Really connecting with the present moment as you let the pose kind of take over and just do its job. Continue to let the breath flow. We'll stay a little while longer. Maybe we can fold a little bit more. Maybe we can sink to a lower level of support. If you have a cheek down, take your other cheek down. We'll take 3 more breaths here. 3 more breaths in and out deeply. And we'll very slowly rise. Very slowly coming out of it. And we'll make our way to our back finally. We'll do supported bridge, of course. You can use thick blankets or a block, a pillow, but you want a nice rounded edge underneath your low back. No wrinkles or anything to impede the comfort of this pose. And you want your low back supported completely. So you should be able to slide your hand underneath the mid-back area. If there's anything on your mid-back, it's a little bit too high, so take it lower. You could even place a pillow under your head for more comfort. The feet are on the floor, the knees are up. We can take our hands to our belly or to our sides. Some of you may even want arms up overhead, elbows bent, and arms hanging out on the floor, kind of nice and limp. And that gives us a heart opener. Relax your belly towards the floor. We can kind of wiggle the shoulders further away from the hips, keeping our hips supported and on our blankets or whatever we're using. And then hammock the belly towards the floor. Enjoy the support the floor is offering us. Our upper back. We haven't quite yet been supported through the upper back in class today. Noticing if this helps us in any way as we feel the shoulder blades splash onto the floor, being held up, the head held up. And hopefully this is comfortable enough that we feel like we could stay here for quite some time. Notice the belly rising and falling with breath. Clearing the mind of any distractions that may still be lingering. Maybe counting our breath, 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Or simply enjoying the peace and quiet. You can stay here for the rest of class if you would like, or you can come out to enter corpse pose, shavasana. You could even do legs up the wall if you want, if we want to change our position altogether. Legs up the wall is a nice option for our class today. Blanket up against the wall. You can take your one shoulder to the wall and then rock back and send the legs up for this wonderful pose. We can take our starfish pose, which is corpse pose with the legs and arms splayed open like a starfish on the beach. Take a really cleansing breath in and out. As we enter the last pose. And simply let the breath flow. Witness it flow, watch it flowing. up and down, in and out. Let the skin of the face be soft. If you've got legs up the wall, let them melt into place, letting them be supported. Whatever hard work you put in today, let that absorb into the bones, into your body, into your memory. That hard work of slowing down, the hard work of being present. And we still have some time here, continuing to let go. Deepen your surrender if you can. We'll begin to deepen our breath, wiggling the fingers and the toes, and drawing the head from side to side. Roll to one side of the body, resting your head on your arm like a pillow. What a great posture here for a little self-love, a little hug. Feeling the weight and warmth of your body. And slowly make your way to a seated posture. Setting up for comfort for the last few moments of class. Don't sell yourself short here, so take time to resituate so we can really feel how open we might feel after class, settling into the best pose for you so we can really abide and resonate in all the hard work that we did. And let's focus our mind one last time on the concept of support, what support means to us. and making a promise with ourselves to support ourselves. A moment of gratitude for those who support us. And a moment of gratitude to thank ourselves for supporting others. We can bring our hands to prayer at heart center to seal this in with a little bow. Thumbs to forehead. Namaste.